hospitality here at the Precious Blood Renewal Center. And today is part 2 of our making of the Amish Friendship Bread. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make bread, and we're going to learn how to put this dough together and then pass it along to some friends and family if you like. So here's our bag. So today is day 10, and what we do at day 10 is, remember, we have to use a plastic bowl, a plastic spatula. It could be also a wooden bowl or a ceramic bowl. It just cannot be metal, okay? Because it doesn't connect well with the chemicals in the bowl, the metal, and the yeast. It's okay to bake because we're going to bake in metal containers here. So the first thing we're going to do, now since today is day 10, we're going to pour all of this, our mixture, in the bowl. Okay. And put it all in here. You kind of got to squeeze it all out. Okay. All right. So there's our empty bag. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a half a cup each of milk. We're going to add milk. Then we're going to add a half a cup of sugar, okay? And then we're going to add a half a cup of flour. This is even before we even start the bread stuff, okay? All right, so then we're going to mix this. We're going to mix it all together. Okay. And it may be a little lumpy, but that's okay. All right. All right. So once you have that stirred up all together, like that, we are going to take our Ziploc bags, okay? And we're going to measure out 4 cups, so 4 bags. You're going to, 1 cup, okay? So here we have 1. Okay. Make sure the air's out of them. There's 1. I'm going to do 2 cups. These are the ones you're going to give out to your friends or family. And this counts as day 1. So remember that. They don't have to do anything with it today. Okay? Okay. Okay. One. We need 1 more. Okay. Well, we are going to actually, let's see. I think we're just going to keep one of these for ourselves today, okay? So let's keep let's keep the one cup that's left in here, we'll keep for us. And we'll go ahead and start making the bread, okay? Now, the first thing you're going to do is turn your oven on at 325. So you're going to preheat your oven at 325. And then here you're going to add 1 cup of oil, okay? 1 cup of oil. And then we're going to add 3 eggs, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, okay? Then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of milk. All right, there's our 1/2 cup of milk. Okay, and then we're going to add a cup of granulated sugar. Okay. And then you're going to add 2 cups of flour. Okay, now salt is optional. So if you want some salt, add a bit, just a pinch. Okay. Then we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. Then we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Then you're going to add 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder. So all right. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. All right. Then we're going to add 2 packages of vanilla instant pudding mix, which is the 3.4 ounce packages of the instant vanilla pudding mix, okay? So we're going to put that in there. Now remember, we're making 2 loaves of bread here. So you'll have 2 loaves of bread. Okay? And then we've got, this is completely optional, but I've got some chopped walnuts here. You could put any nuts of your choice, or you don't have to put any in there at all. Some people even replace the nuts with chocolate chips. So it's kind of up to you. I kind of like walnuts in my bread, so go ahead and put about a cup of that in there. Okay. And then, of course, your Amish Friendship Bread starter, which we already had in there. Okay. So now we're going to combine all this together real well. Okay. And it smells delicious, by the way, already. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like once the everything's been mixed well together. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to set this aside real quick, and we are going to prep our pans. So I like to buy my cinnamon sugar just because it's easier, but you can make your own cinnamon sugar. What you do is, for every tablespoon of sugar, you want to do about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. So, but I have some cinnamon sugar here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and spray my pans. Okay. You can also use butter. You can also do it another old-fashioned way. You can dab a little oil on a paper towel, spread it on your pans, and then add flour, okay? Sprinkle flour on there. So what I'm going to do is put the cinnamon sugar on my pans after I have sprayed them with the oil. And what this will do is when we take our bread out of the oven, it'll have that sugar all over it. So I'm just kind of putting the cinnamon on there. And I also put some on top. So, but that's completely optional, okay? If you don't want to put cinnamon on top, you don't have to. Okay, so now we're going to take our beautiful dough here, and we are going to pour it in our pan. Okay. About 3/4 full, because then you're going to have to let the bread rise a little bit. Okay. Let that about 3/4 full. That out a bit. Just kind of spread. Okay. All right. So now then, just for a little added touch, I am going to put some cinnamon sugar on top. You can't tell that I like cinnamon, right? Okay, there we are. So now we're going to stick this into the oven at 325, which you've already been preheating. And you're going to let it bake for about an hour. Now, all ovens are different, so it may be that yours will only take 55 minutes, maybe yours will take 60 minutes plus another 5 or 10. It kind of varies. So just check it, but do not open your oven, at least for the first 30 minutes, do not open it. What happens is that the air that goes in there is depleted, and then it causes your bread to kind of have a dip in it. So it's going to kind of be a flop, and then it's like almost starting over. So do not open your oven for the first 30 minutes, okay? So, but you will need to check it after that just to see if it's rising and if it's starting to cook. So before you take it out, get a toothpick and see, insert the toothpick and see if you can, if it comes out clear, we know it's ready to go. Okay, so we're going to put this in the oven and we'll be back. I took this out of the oven and I'm going to flip it out onto the platter. There's our loaf. Okay. So here's our Amish Friendship Bread. okay? Now I've got two. Now obviously they're two different sizes a little bit because I had one smaller pan and one larger pan, so that's no big deal. But what we have here, this is good. You can invite a friend over and have a little bit of Amish bread with some coffee or tea and enjoy your fellowship with them. And the other thing, you can give one loaf away to your friend so he or she could take it home and enjoy it with their family and their friends. And I also wanted you guys to remind yourselves that this 1 cup in the Ziploc bag. Now usually I like to write mine with a Sharpie, what you have to do, but I went ahead, I'm going to give these out to 3 of my friends, and I went ahead and printed out the recipe for the starter and then the recipe for the friendship bread when you're ready to make it in 10 days. So it gives you all the instructions here for your friend to follow. You can even keep one for yourself. And remember that this is day 1, so you do nothing to it. Just absolutely nothing. So tomorrow, you're just going to go follow the instructions. You're going to mash the bag. And don't forget to say a prayer for your friend or family or whoever you're giving it to. So I'm going to go ahead and slice into the bread. It's still very, very warm. Look at that. Does that not look great? So I think I am going to wait and take a piece of it until it cools off because it is very, very warm. So I just want to leave you with this. Say a prayer for our friends, for our family, for yourselves when you eat and, take of this bread, and just know that everyone should be kind to each other and love each other. So until next time, enjoy your bread.